A forbidden connection, Emily's story of love, guilt, and consequences. Emily never thought her life could take such a drastic turn in just a few hours. At 35 years old, she had been married to Matt for 10 years, a man she believed to be her soulmate. They lived in a beautiful home in a quiet Chicago suburb, with stable jobs and a marriage that seemed to be the envy of everyone around them. At least, that's what Emily thought. That day began like any other. Matt was packing for a week-long business trip. Emily watched him from the kitchen as she brewed coffee and toasted some bread. The rich aroma filled the house, mingling with the crisp morning air. "Are you sure you'll be okay alone?" Matt asked, his concern evident in his hazel eyes. "Of course," Emily replied with a smile. "This isn't the first time, and besides, I have plenty of work to keep me busy." Matt nodded, though Emily noticed a flicker of doubt in his expression. Things had been tense between them lately. Long work hours, daily stress, and the monotony of routine had taken their toll. The deep, meaningful conversations they once cherished had dwindled, replaced by awkward silences. As Matt grabbed his suitcase and headed for the door, he turned back to remind her, "Oh, and don't forget, Logan's coming by tomorrow to fix the washing machine." Logan. Just hearing his name sent a shiver down Emily's spine. Logan was her stepbrother from her mom's second marriage. They'd always gotten along, but there was an unspoken tension between them, a spark they both tried to ignore. "Don't worry," Emily said, feigning nonchalance. "I'll handle it." Matt kissed her goodbye, a quick, almost mechanical peck on the lips, nothing like the passionate kisses they used to share. As she watched him drive away, Emily couldn't help but wonder when they had lost that spark. The rest of the day passed uneventfully. Emily worked from home as usual, but the house felt eerily quiet without Matt's presence. That evening, while eating dinner in front of the TV, her thoughts drifted to Logan. She remembered the last time she'd seen him at her dad's birthday party a month ago. Logan had worn a fitted blue shirt that made his eyes stand out even more. Their gazes had met several times that night, each glance sending an electric charge through her. Emily scolded herself for thinking about him that way. Logan was her stepbrother, and she was married. But no matter how hard she tried, she couldn't deny the pull he had on her. Tuesday arrived faster than Emily expected. She woke up early, nervous at the thought of seeing Logan. She spent extra time getting ready, adding a touch of makeup and choosing a fitted dress that flattered her figure. At exactly 10 a.m., the doorbell rang. Emily took a deep breath before opening the door, and there he was, standing with his trademark grin and those piercing blue eyes that seemed to see right through her. "Hey, Emily, ready to fix that washing machine?" Logan asked, his voice playful. "Hi, Logan, come in," she replied, trying to keep her composure. She led him to the laundry room, acutely aware of his presence behind her. The space was small, and as Logan bent down to examine the washing machine, his shirt lifted slightly, revealing a sliver of his tan lower back. Emily found herself staring, captivated by his easy confidence and the skilled way he worked with his hands. "Looks like it's the drain pump," Logan said. "I'll need to take it apart to clean it. Got a screwdriver?" "I think there's one in the garage," Emily replied, quickly leaving the room to regain her composure. When she returned with the tool, their fingers brushed as she handed it to him. A jolt of electricity passed between them. "Thanks," Logan murmured, his eyes locking onto hers. The tension in the room was palpable, heavy with unspoken feelings neither dared to address. As Logan worked, Emily found herself lingering, pretending to be interested in the process but completely absorbed by his presence. His voice, as he explained the issue, his hands deftly maneuvering the parts of the washing machine, everything about him seemed to draw her closer. She felt her guard crumbling with each passing moment. "Emily," Logan said suddenly, breaking the silence, "can I ask you something?" "Sure," she replied, her heart pounding in her chest. "Are you happy with Matt? I mean, really happy?" The question caught Emily off guard. Her automatic response was to say yes, but the words wouldn't come. Instead, she found herself admitting, "I don't know. Things have been hard lately." Logan nodded, as if her answer confirmed something he already suspected. "You deserve to be happy, Emily, to feel alive." Before she could respond, he closed the gap between them. His lips met hers in a kiss that was raw, desperate, and filled with years of unspoken desire. His hands tangled in her hair, and she clung to him as though he were the only thing keeping her grounded. When they finally pulled apart, their foreheads rested against each other. "This is wrong," Emily whispered, but she made no move to step away. "I know," Logan replied, his voice low, "but it feels so right." In that moment, nothing else mattered. They gave in to the passion that had been simmering beneath the surface for years. It was intense, liberating, and unlike anything Emily had ever felt before. Afterward, as they lay tangled together, reality began to set in. "What have we done?" Emily murmured, more to herself than to Logan. "Something we've both wanted for a long time," Logan said, pulling her closer. He was right. Despite the guilt gnawing at her, Emily couldn't deny that this was something she had secretly longed for. The days that followed were a whirlwind of emotions. Emily's mind was a chaotic mix of guilt, longing, and confusion. Every time Matt called to check in, her heart sank further. She tried to focus on her work, on anything that could distract her, but thoughts of Logan invaded every quiet moment. She replayed their encounter in her mind, the way his touch had ignited something in her she hadn't felt in years. When Matt returned from his trip, the tension in the house was palpable. He noticed the change in her immediately. "You seem distant," he said one evening as they sat on the couch. "Is everything okay?" Emily forced a smile, nodding quickly. "Just work stress," she replied, avoiding his gaze. But Matt wasn't convinced. Over the next few days, he kept asking questions, his concern growing. Emily felt the walls closing in on her. She knew she couldn't keep the truth hidden forever. A week later, Logan reached out again. "We need to talk," his message read. "Meet me at our usual spot." The usual spot was a small cafe on the outskirts of town, where they could meet without attracting attention. As Emily walked in, she spotted Logan sitting at a corner table, his expression a mix of anticipation and worry. "Emily," he began as she sat down, "I can't stop thinking about what happened. It meant something to me. Did it mean something to you?" Emily hesitated, her heart racing. "Of course it did," she admitted. "But I don't know what to do. I don't want to hurt Matt, but I can't ignore how I feel about you." Logan reached across the table, taking her hands in his. "I'm not asking you to make a decision right now," he said gently. "But we can't keep pretending this didn't happen. We need to figure out what it means for both of us." That night, Emily sat on the couch beside Matt, her heart heavy with the weight of her decision. "Matt," she began, her voice trembling, "we need to talk." As she confessed everything, tears streamed down her face. Matt listened in stunned silence, his expression a mixture of pain and disbelief. When she finished, the room was heavy with unspoken words. "I need time," Matt said finally, his voice breaking. "I need to think." Emily nodded, knowing there was nothing more she could say. The choices she had made had brought her to this moment, and now all she could do was wait and face the consequences. Emily's story is a reminder that life is complicated, and the decisions we make can ripple out in ways we never expect. Have you ever faced a moment that changed everything? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to Silent Confessions for more real-life stories. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.